Yo, what's up, guys? Episode 123 with the one of the owners of NARBC on Daytona weekend. So we really didn't plan this out too well. What's up, guys? Just we'll get to all that in a minute. This episode is sponsored by Reptile. No, Redline Shipping. Fucking Redline Shipping. We're doing something that was just decided with the Redline road trip to CRBE in Canada. We're kind of on the road trip team now, Paul and myself. Redline Shipping, best shipping reptile shipper in the country. I mean, they came in and just fucking crushed it. If you want, okay, on your first 2 shipments with Redline, use the code Robin60. You'll get 60% off your shipments, and then add the code Fatman5 to that, and you'll get $5 off Redline's already discounted rates. So go check them out at redlineshipping.com. Reptile. I mean, come on, guys, you know better than that. I mean, Reptile is the best fucking cocoa substrate in the fucking in the hobby. Don't be a Reptile bitch. Fucking use Reptile. I don't know what's going on with that square around everything today. That's fucking weird. I don't know. Gotta fucking figure all this shit out. You would have thought I would have been more prepared. But, it is what it is, right? All right, so go check them out at reptile.com. Buy yourself a brick, a bag, a bigger bag. They're also doing a bunch of new products like Reptile Earth and a bunch of bioactive shit that if you want, you could go back to the last Hot Girl show, and me and Girly Girl talked about Reptile a little bit. All right, so quick news. Okay, nope, we're going to do herps. Okay, cool. Let's do herps. They're the best independent-run show circuit in the country. They're killing it down in Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. They're going to be in Bryan, August 17th and 18th. They're going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on the 24th and 25th. They're going to have their big show in Conroe on September 14th and 15th. They're going to be in Belton, Texas. That's a new place, I think. And that's going to be on October 5th and 6th. Rosenberg, the Jew capital of Texas. They're going to be on that November 2nd and 3rd. They're going to be in Sulphur, Louisiana on November 9th and November 10th. Go check them out at herpshow.net and let Sean and Laurie know how they're fucking just crushing it every fucking week there with all their shows. All right, so some news here. Paul and I are joining the Redline road trip. Paul Santoriello going up to Canada for the CRBE in Toronto. So that's going to be on the 14th and the 15th. So we are giving away 2 free tickets to the CRBE in Toronto. So all you got to do is DM me on Instagram, just title it contest, and we'll pick a winner next show. And we'll get you guys some free tickets, and you'll be able to mosey on in there without paying. So anyway, that's going to be September 14th and 15th. And we're going to be there Friday through Monday. So come see us, come say hello. We're going to be doing some live streaming from there. All the usual fun stuff. Remember, all right, you guys want to throw a super chat our way tonight? That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, if you have a question, throw it in a super chat. We'll definitely ask Potter the question. And don't forget to smash the like buttons, Mom. Join the Patreon. Hit the subscribe button on here. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Instagram at the Fat Man Nation and all the other bullshit that's associated with doing a dumbass reptile podcast at 51 years old. Anyway, let's see who's here tonight. Let's give some validations real quick. Who do we got? Oh, we got Kim King. Cousin Kim in the house. What's up, King? Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. Who else we got? Sky High Morse. Brian, what's up, brother? How are you? Or Holly. Brian or Holly. Let's keep it moving here. Low Life, what's up, brother? Now I noticed that Large Marge Morse was the first one in the thing, but we just skipped him. So anyway, Lizard Morse, fucking Luke, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Miss you, buddy. Creative Cora Lofus, what's up? We're gonna have I'm thinking about having Creative Cora Lofus on one of the other shows because he's a diehard guy. Mike, M&K Exotics, fucking thank you for letting me use your logo in that joke video. Uncle Mike, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Hopefully I'm going to see Uncle Mike at Tinley. Gerald from Forward Motion. Normally I have something bad to say about him. I'm not going to bother tonight because I don't have any prepared jokes. So let's see. Old World Pythons, you guys are new. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. What else we got here? HJS Serpents, new Patreon members. Thank you so much. I've been noticing you guys have been watching a lot of the stuff, and I love it. So I appreciate you being a Patreon member. Rich Crowley, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for coming. You're new also, so thank you for taking the time. Who else we got? Anybody? Danny, what's up, Danny? Fucking Chain Reaction Exotics. If you need a ball python in Texas, go check out Danny. And my 15 minutes guest tonight. Straight Blast, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Will's Hella Heat. Fucking see you everywhere, brother. Yeah, let's get that podcast rolling. Limey, thank you. Limey may be buying a ticket to Canada to hang out. Fucking Val, what's up, sexy, with the fucking eggplant and the drips. Fucking gotta love that, right? Fucking Mega Conda's here. Mega Conda never goes to any podcast. What's up, Megan? How are you doing? Timothy, thank you, brother. Thanks for the $5. You always show up and you always support. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. We're good? Okay. All right. So, I got all the announcements over already, right? And you would think that, I told Will to come back at 9:15, so we're just going to have to shoot the shit for a little bit because Will's not here yet. But anyway, I hope you guys like the 5 steps to becoming a successful ball python breeder video that we put out. I got a little bit of hate from a couple of people who said that I'm sucking the fun out of the fucking hobby. So, yeah, he basically called me a fat, dumb idiot, and I told him he was body shaming me, and that ain't cool. And, man, the fucking young people get worried real quick when you accuse them of something like body shaming or transphobia or whatever, because he was backpedaling quick, okay? But he's still a little bitch, still a little Canadian bitch. And, yeah, he said he's a black belt in life, but he's only a white belt in ball python breeding. And I'm like a black belt that takes away all the fun from the white belts as they're learning. So fuck that guy. And I think his name was Odds Gods. I'm not even going to hold back on his fucking name. Fuck him. He's a fucking bitch pussy. Yeah. Matter of fact, everybody should go fucking text him and fucking tell him what a bitch he is. Anyway, I'm going to try and keep it above board because we got a very distinguished guest. So I don't want to fuck around with Potter's episode. Anyway, Will is back. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna start up the old 15 minutes because I know you guys aren't here to fucking listen to me, bitch. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Making the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, guys? It's Justin at Canova. For the past 5 years, 15 Minutes of Lame has become a launch pad for so many new successful breeders and a badge of honor in this industry. It's been so amazing to watch the passion and dedication you guys have and to watch your businesses grow. Just remember, the next me might be you.
15 Minutes of Lame!
William Sanford.
What's going on?
Exotics. What's up, brother?
How are you?
Listen, I fucked up. By the way, 15 minutes sponsored by Clutch, blah, blah, blah. best cloud-based management system for your fucking ball pythons. Go check them out at cltch.io. Sorry about that, Will. What's
all
up?
good, man. I understand. Trust me.
You're a little nervous about
Yeah, a little bit. This is the first podcast ever, so
Well, Will actually did something that not many people do. He said, "What could I do to look and sound good?" I told him what that, and he did it. Okay, no one ever listens to me, no matter how long I've been fucking doing it. So I appreciate you, Will. Will, I mean, you know how this works. We got 15 minutes on the clock. We're gonna fucking start that now. Okay. Right off the bat. All right, Visionary Exotics. A little bit ballsy for you to just come right out of the gate claiming to be a visionary. What's up with the name?
I was looking for a name that was inspired by commitment to forward thinking and innovative solutions.
You wrote that down, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I can't come to an interview not prepared. Like, I can't do that. But yeah, it reflects creativity and insight.
That's fucking awesome. Yes, Will is standing in the locker room. Fucking right. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm not going to waste the time. I'm sorry. Well,
good.
How long have you been doing this?
Bought a pair of Lessers back in 2007, followed up by a pair of Mystics like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, Lessers and Phantoms.
Yeah, man. And
how much did you pay for each Lesser back then?
The pair was $2,000 and the Mystics were
$10,000.
Yeah.
Fuck, even I didn't pay $10,000 for Mystics when I got to, and I got them from Ralph Davis. Shit. So you came in hard, but you haven't been doing this since 2007, right?
Not like full-time hard. No. During that time, mom passed away. Dad had Parkinson's, passed away.
Jesus, dude, what are you doing to me?
What do you mean?
You're just bringing the show down. You're like, yeah, that was great in 2009.
Well, I mean, I'm standing in a locker room too, according to the chat. So there's that. So we might as well keep the level going.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's be sad. Right?
Yeah.
Did your best friend pass away of cancer too?
No.
Okay, all right.
Only my mom.
Dude, what the fuck, man? You're fucking killing me. You make me look like an asshole.
No.
Right? All right. So you stopped doing it for a little while, regardless of circumstances. And when did you get back into it?
So I started ramping back up in 2013. When I say ramping back up, I've done super dwarf retics, anacondas, boas. Got the master CITES, had that for about 6 years. Just trying to make dozens of dollars.
Dozens of dollars. That's
right.
Were you in Texas this whole time or no?
No, I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
Doing that. So.
And what brought you down to Texas?
Honestly, man, it was time to just get out of Memphis and the job. It was just time. I don't really have, some magical story behind it. It was just time to go.
Okay. All right. Don't be yelling. Well, you moved to a good place. I mean, Texas got plenty of good ball python people, right?
Oh yeah. I knew some of them before I moved down here. I've obviously met some more since I've been here. But yeah, there's some good folks down here.
And right now, what's your collection sitting at?
Numbers wise?
Yeah.
I'm at 82.
82. Okay, so that's still under 100, right?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
They're all normals though.
Kevin's calling you old. Dude, Kevin, I bet you got this guy by about 15 years. Okay. You could tell him, fucking be like, fuck you, Kevin from Sugar Skull Serpents. Fucking.
Oh, it's all good. I rise above it. You got to rise above it. So.
You'll rise above it. That's right. All right. So you're about, so what's the amount of money that you put into this since 2007? and how much have you taken out so far?
So we'll do this because I slammed on the brakes in 2019 and got out and came back in 20. So from 20 to now, I would right at 100.
100 grand.
Yeah,
100 fucking grand. Okay. How much have you gotten back?
about 28.
Now 28. Okay. Well, that's not horrible. But you got a real job, right? You're not.
Yeah, I'm a contracts operations analyst. I build basically when pharmaceutical companies send in contracts for the salespeople that sell their products.
Right.
I build basically mini programs to make sure the family practices get paid.
Gotcha. So is it like a CRM type of deal that you do, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good deal. All right. So you're sitting at 28,000. What's the 5-year plan? Do you plan on being Canova, or do you plan on being Ozzy?
None of the above. I just want to be me, man.
You just want to be Will, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I, just expand and diversify the portfolio a little bit, go into other species such as the K Island boas. I think those are neat.
Right.
Get into real estate, meet some cool people.
Right. Well, and what are the big projects you're working with now? You're working with paint, right? So Limey should be pretty happy.
Yeah, I just got into paint, doing Puzzle, Sunset, and VPI Exantic.
Okay, so you're putting your money behind decent projects, but you didn't buy your fucking paint from Limey, right?
I did not this one. No,
You bought it from Levinson, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
All
the
right.
parents came from Limey. Does that count or no?
I mean, Limey's not going to see any of that money, so
True.
Not, it's all going to stick with Dave. But whatever, it's all good. Do you do shows yet or no?
I've done some Arlington shows. In Memphis, I used to do the Repticons,
Right.
but I haven't done shows. I don't know, probably in 2 years, and that's just due to time. Like it's hard being in school, plus work, plus snakes, plus having a life.
Right.
It kind of adds up.
You a single guy or no?
No.
Who got a wife?
No, girlfriend.
Oh, all right. Is she just like a placeholder until you make it big with ball pythons, and then you go out and get some random ball python OnlyFans hoe?
Yeah, with my dollars that I'm gonna make.
Yeah, with the dollars
that I've made back. Yeah. That's exact plan. Yeah.
Find yourself like a nice reptile chick with fucking purple hair and a fucking stomach and a short shirt, fucking muffin top.
No,
yeah.
All right. She's a good one, man. I'm keeping her around.
Does she help you with all this shit or no?
No, she like I could have something and she's like, okay, that's cool.
Could care less, right?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
So I would imagine that Dwight, what's up, brother? Memphis is kind of like a shithole right now. I'm just imagining like a Memphis Repticon. That had to be.
Oh yeah, it was like the locker room I'm standing in now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It wasn't the best.
You could have used like the tent you're standing in now with the same effect, because that's basically what a lot of Repticons are. All right, and clutches every year. What's your goal and what's your average right now?
So this year I've done 2 so far.
Done 2?
Yeah.
Man, you're really going after quality, not quantity, huh?
I mean, the first one was some hypo clown pies, some visuals, and the second one, this last one, was hypos, double het sunset DGs.
Jesus Christ. Fucking, you're just white trashing it up with the hypo, huh?
Yeah, it's that highlighter gene. I mean, I'm from Memphis. It's the backwoods gene.
Yeah. What would I? Yeah. I guess being from Memphis, it would be hypo and probably blackhead. No, I didn't say that. Okay, all right, I didn't say that. But fucking, that's what I would imagine the 2 genes there would be. And going on, are you expanding a lot or no? Or are you just going to stick at about 100?
To be honest, I mean, I would like to top out maybe 150. just because, and when I say 150, probably 100 breeder females, and the rest grow ups to males. Because I mean, like the more animals you have, the more work it is, obviously.
Right, and
so it's not like I'm not about that life where it's like this. It's not all I want to do.
aren't they the worst when you see those fucking people and like ball pythons is a lifestyle? You have to live it. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like you
Like
know,
I don't live it
like
at
get
all.
the fuck out of here. Yeah, fucking, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. You actually like pussy, right? So it's like,
I do. Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend fucking 80 hours a week on my dumb snakes when I could get my own snake sucked. But anyway, let's talk some sponsors. Right? You're from Texas, so you better use Reptile.
Yeah, I just started switching over actually. It's the Ready chip. I actually like that. The pre-made bags.
What did you switch over from?
I was on Aspen for a while.
Man, it's been fucking old school, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, JT does not give you a fuck you. Okay. So pretty cool with that. Obviously, and you better say yes to this. You're using Redline shipping when you have to ship, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Robin does not give you a fuck you. Okay. You got a sea serpent's rack in that fucking locker room.
Yeah, I got 4 of them.
That's what I'm saying. Chris Nettles does not give you a fuck you.
We spent some money in the locker room,
That's good, man. Fucking now, let's see here. If you got to test something, who are you going to?
Oh, that's Charlie.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Yeah, like that's all my tests.
Yeah, fuck that other company that takes fucking 9 weeks to get a fucking answer back, right? And from what I'm hearing, wrong. Fucking, well, you didn't hear that from me.
I'll take that off air.
Have you ever been to a herp show?
I have not.
Dude, you're in Texas and you never been to a herp show?
I have not.
I was gonna say Charlie doesn't give you a fuck you, and Sean and Lori don't give you a fuck you, but Charlie gives you a thumbs up, and Lori and Sean give you a big old fuck you. You're right there. What the fuck, man?
I know.
Come on, dude. Part of US Arc, obviously, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What
silver?
Silver
member.
Okay. So you threw some money. You weren't like, I'm just gonna give this $40 thing and fucking just be happy with it, right? You did.
I mean, like I said, the locker room has some money.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's what everybody gets when you have a real job. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Now, you bought a snake from Canova, obviously, because you're spending a ton of money, right?
JKR, yeah.
JKR. Yeah, again, going old school like the Aspen. So Justin does not give you a fuck you. He gives you
I don't use clutch.
You don't you fucked it all up. Why wouldn't you just say yeah and I use clutch? All right. Like why wouldn't you just say that?
I mean, I like to be honest.
Yeah.
I know. I understand. I get it.
All right. Now, you had 2 clutches this year. Are you doing any shows in Texas?
I'll be going. I'm not vending. No.
You're not going to vend.
Mm-mm.
You're going to use Morph Market.
Yeah. I hesitate to say yeah because I know how you feel about that.
I actually talked to Darian last week. And, yeah, it was an interesting conversation. But still,
was it productive?
No, not at all. We basically just talk shit on some other guy. Like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal. I understand. So, and he's good for shit talking. I mean, obviously. But 90,000, 100,000 fucking snakes for sale on Morph Market, you're not really going to stand out all that much. So, you might want to talk to some other people, see if you can get your shit on their tables. This way, you don't have to bother with the shows.
Yeah.
And just fucking still sell your shit.
But I mean, who's going to buy, the locker room hypos?
Dude, yeah, fucking certainly not me. And
I mean, they're double het for Sunset DG, but who wants that?
Fucked it up. It's like you got a really good-looking chick with AIDS. Okay,
I mean,
so that's really what you did. You fucking you gave a good idea AIDS by putting fucking hypo in it. So, I guess that's what you guys do down in Texas now.
I figured it would be the thought and the work that counted, but no.
No.
Okay.
You know that,
Just
right?
a question.
You've been around long enough to know that,
Just
right?
a question.
How can people get in touch with you?
Info at visionaryexotics.net. And
Dude,
visionary.
.net? Really?
Yeah.
You're a computer guy. Why didn't you get the .com?
To be different, I don't know. Just like my underscore and Instagram.
Jesus.
Because I know it annoys you, so I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, .net. What the
I know.
fuck, man? I mean, I'm not going to say nothing because Herbsta is herbshow.net, but fucking whatever. I mean, we got to fucking, dude, you fucked up. Yeah, you kind of fucked up by fucking not putting the goddamn fucking buzzer in. Anyway,
I appreciate it, man, for real.
Tell them where you could go to, man, to get in touch with you.
Info at visionaryexotics.net and Instagram, visionary_exotics.
Oh,
I know.
God damn it. All right. Really, I'm trying to help you, buddy.
I know. I maybe I'm beyond help, man.
Well, also, just a quick aside, your logo was not done by SD Design, was it?
No. It's an exclusive, though.
Yeah, no, I get it. It totally is. What do you didn't have the 40 grand to drop with Blake?
No, I didn't.
No, I don't blame you. One day you'll get out of that locker room and you'll be able to afford Stewart Design. Okay.
Yeah.
I have faith in you, buddy. All right. Well, thanks again for fucking stopping by. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
Visionary Exotics. Fucking everybody go follow this fucking guy. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later on. All right.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye. Oh, Will is fucking badass. Will is a member of the Patreon. Will has been a big supporter. He's also a sponsor on the Fatman live show. So I'm glad that he's in the running for the next 15 minutes. But just so everybody knows, if you do have 20 to 30 grand in the bank and you want to up your marketing game, fucking Stewart Design, fucking Blake Stewart, fucking Marine Corps veteran. This guy kills it. He does work for national brands like Buffalo Wild Wings. He did Canova. He did Cold Blooded Cafe. He did US Arc. He did Rice Reptiles. He also did Conduit Constrictors. I mean, this guy knows what he's fucking doing, and he's elevating everybody's game. I mean, you know, don't go to these fucking sub $200 logo people. They fucking suck. If you don't pay at least $1,000 for your logo, you're obviously doing it with some fucking hack that's just going to put your name through a fucking computer AI and fucking shit out what they call art and hand you over a crappy logo that looks like everybody else's. So go to Stewart Design. He'll do your logo. He'll do all your marketing. He'll take care of you. He's definitely worth the weight in cash. Okay. So, all right. So we're moving on here, and I decided that on Daytona weekend, why not get the fucking NARBC guy in here? And we got Brian Potter in the house. Everybody, what's up, Mr. Podcast? Right?
How you doing?
Daytona weekend, man. I'm sorry.
I was the only one available. Everybody was in Daytona.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, fucking.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I wanted some of the cool guys on, but fucking. You know, they're like, I'm busy. No, fuck Daytona, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, fucking fuck Daytona, right? So, you guys, Daytona, you guys at your level, you don't really consider the bigger shows, like you guys aren't really competing with each other, right?
Really, none of the shows compete unless you get somebody that's going to like pull a dick move and put a show in your same town a week before you, a week after you, something like that, or even a month, you know. Other than that, none of us are really competing because if you're not on the same weekend, what's the difference, right?
Right. Well, that just happened like 3 weeks ago, right? One guy came in on another guy's show, like a newer guy's show, and told him, yeah, I think he was telling the vendors, you either do this show or my show, otherwise you're blacklisted or whatever.
Yeah, there's some of that. You'll hear it sometimes.
Yeah, that's not really a problem for the local shows, right? Well, the local shows, it's probably more of a problem when somebody comes in the same, month that you're doing your show.
Yeah,
I would
there's
imagine,
gonna be more and more issues with people stepping on other people's dates and people moving into other people's areas. As you can see, it's happening like crazy.
right? Yeah, and everybody's a show promoter now, right? Like
There's the migration.
Yeah, a little
It's
bit.
the ball python migration.
It really is, and I kind of think that what nobody's talking about is like, for instance, Bob. Now, I'm not saying Bob would do this, okay? But if Bob's show is successful in September, I think it is, a couple of years from now, when the ball python market comes back into being what it is and being a high dollar thing, what's to stop Bob from just saying, I'm just going to have my friends and myself be the only ball python breeders, in this show, and then make a killing on it. Now, again, I'm not saying Bob would do something like that, but that would be a fear that I would have as any competing ball python breeder with Bob.
I wouldn't, honestly. He'd never do that. That's you do that, and basically everyone's gonna quit doing your show because you're being such a dick. You know what I mean? And I don't see Bob ever doing something like that.
Again, I'm not saying Bob specifically. I'm saying just because that situation is something that'll fit in. Bob has been one of the more stand-up guys in the hobby. Yeah. Now, go back to 2001, right? Like little Brian Potter, right, walking around Chicago. What was the first show like? What was the first NARBC show like?
It was a big disappointment for us in a way, because of course we were expecting, that 3.5 million people through the door, because you hear the numbers that all the shows put out, right? You hear about these 30,000 people through the door, 20,000 people through the door, 10,000 people through the door. Nobody gets those numbers. So when we first opened up, we figured we were going to hit, 18 or 20,000, and you get 10% of that,
right?
And you're like, whoa, what happened?
Right.
But it was good. It was still a successful show in the fact that we elevated what a show should look like: pipe and drape, carpeted facility, hotel attached to it. All the things that I think in the beginning separated us from everything else.
Right. Well, when you first started it, what were the big shows? I mean, Orlando was going on, right? Was that the only other big show in the country?
Yeah, you had Orlando. You had the Mars show on the East Coast. Mars, right?
Right.
There was San Diego. There was the San Diego show.
IRBA, yeah, International Reptile Breeders Association.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it for like big show, And Mars wasn't big, but it was good. It had good quality vendors.
Right.
And you had ham, right? You had ham.
Well, ham
here in the States.
Oh, Hamburg, you mean?
Yeah, Hamburg. Yeah.
Okay. That place is a shithole, man. I mean,
but back in the day, though, you could get some shit there, right? Like, good vendors were there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I remember we went there in like 2008, and that was where I first actually met Dave Levinson and Chris from Sea Serpents, and there was a dead cat right at the entrance of the fucking building. And they just left that dead cat there all day.
That's awesome.
By like
noon, you get a picture with it.
Well, nobody did selfies back then, but fucking I would have definitely did it. But by the end of the day, it was all blown up. Everything. And it was
just awesome.
They just left it there the whole day. That's what they did. So, and did you have? There was never a no, we're not going to do another one of these thought in your head?
Oh, no, never. It was successful in who showed up, who supported us, people loving the experience of pipe and drape and carpet and never leaving the facility, walking inside to your hotel room.
Right.
All the little things that we did that made it more like a regular business, non-reptile industry trade show.
Right, like a convention show.
A convention show, correct. Like any other normal industry.
Right. Right. Yeah, I got to say, you're going to Finley and just going down that hallway to the fucking room, that was great. When did it become the like the party capital show. Like, I mean, because
I try to think of that sometimes. I don't know. I don't know when. Like, I don't even know when. I'm trying to remember, like, when was the first U.S. Arc auction? I don't think it was at the first show.
Right.
I think that came a few years in. I don't even know the answer to that, to be quite honest. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's. I mean, I remember my first Tinley was in 2008. I think we vended in 2013, 14, or 15. And I remember just going down at like 3 a.m. to smoke, and I mean, they were like Chad Hulker and Dave Levinson and all those guys were just in the lobby drinking like fuck. And they were like, yeah, we don't plan on sleeping for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a hard show to fucking vend. It's a great show to go to, but to vend and have to be on for 3 straight days, it takes a lot out of you.
It feels like to me as the promoter of it, and I'm pretty my girlfriend calls me abuelo. So, you know, like I go to bed early now. Back in those days, we were doing the limo on Thursday night to the strip clubs downtown and restaurants and all that shit, and with a bunch of people and getting in, you know, crack of dawn Friday and then going crazy. Now it's like, fuck, I'm sleeping at 9:45.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It seems to me like you get there on Friday and it's just a blink of an eye and then it's Sunday night.
Right. Yeah. Well,
goes...
yeah, I could see that. It's I mean, it was hard shows when we vended it. I was just like, I was like you. I was in bed at 10 o'clock, and that was 10, 12 years ago. You know, so
yeah.
You know, I can imagine what it's like now. I know that there would be no strip. I mean, but it's cool to see people carrying on the strip club habits, and
there's definitely some crews that hit all that shit. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, like you know, Bob and Josh, you know, and all of those guys, they fucking party, man. It's like,
yes, they do.
Yeah,
I don't know how those guys do it. I tell them all the time. They're always like, come on, man, come with us. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Not if the chicks are handing me money am I going.
Well, when was the year that you first realized that, like, hey, this is a big thing, there's going to be a big income generator? Because prior to that, you were at the Chicago Reptile House, right? Chicago.
I still am. Yeah, I still am.
Yeah.
That's my main everyday gig.
But how many shows you do a year? 6 now?
What is it? 2. Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So obviously now the time involved in you prepping a show doesn't take as long as it did in 2001.
We got some help. You know, we got some staff. Vanessa Costanzo, obviously, is just brilliant on the computer and can do shit that Bob and we have struggles with email. So that give you an idea.
No, I know. And also, who's the redhead?
That was Kristen. She's been gone a couple years now.
Okay, all right.
She was with us a long time and did all of that stuff and then took off, and she's doing other things now. And Bob and I have Vanessa now doing all of that. And then Jess from Jumping, House of Less Food, Jumping Spider Girl. She's doing all the social media stuff now.
So you're not handling that shit day to day, like obviously.
No, the day to day stuff that Bob and I are handling is like money coming in, doing the layout, that kind of stuff.
Right, and you know I'm going to hit the one complaint, right? Sure. The one complaint is the ball python people, right? Like the ball python.
There's too many of them.
Right.
Well, here's the deal. It's like I tell everybody. You notice how now it's starting to thin out a little bit because that's what the market wants. The market, it's going to do what the market wants it to do.
Right.
The reason that ball python people are there through the past, I don't know, what are we on, about a 10 or 12 year run, is because that's where the money was at. That's why everybody was doing it. And now most of those ball python guys have hog nose, they got monitors, they got other stuff in addition. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know how a ball python guy anymore can just be a ball python guy and really have it as a business. I'm not saying today, but I don't know that you can just do ball pythons and make a living a lot longer. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it.
I mean, there's people doing it, but it's a lot harder now, right? I mean, I don't think you could come in in 2024 without dropping like, you know, $250,000 or $500,000 and be any type of success in it, right? Like I think that it's kind of shifting from the I want to be the next Canova to, hey, if I make 80 grand a year off my hobby, I'm happy with that. You know,
I agree with that 100%. I think like you can make pies and you can make blue eye Lucy's and you can make albinos and a bunch of other stuff that you can sell as pets and still make great money doing a job that it's your own gig. Like throw your music on, go in your basement, do your thing, or your building, or whatever it may be, your spare bedroom, and you can still make money. Are you going to be Canova? No.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that. I think the days of being Canova are kind of gone, but there are companies that are close to Canova and employing a couple of people and, you know, making shit like that happen. Like Chimera is pretty big, you know, as far as their numbers go. Will Banks is still crushing it, right? Like, but Will Banks kind of moved over to pet animals.
Yeah, Mike.
More
I just talked to Mike the other day, and we were talking about all that, and he was saying it was like, you know, if it wasn't for, you know, white snakes and pet stuff, he'd be dead. You know, be dead.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember we were buying investment type stuff from Mike back in like 2008, 2009, and Mike was really killing it. Wasn't he the first guy with the auction site? And
I mean, Mike's a brilliant business guy. Like Mike will be fine no matter what Mike does. Mike's gonna always be good. He came in with money. He'll leave with money. If he ever leaves, you know what I'm saying? Mike will be fine. Mike's a smart business guy.
Yeah.
Bob Drew's a smart business guy. Canova, smart business guy. Bob Clark, smart business guy. You know, you go through the list. There's a lot more that I'm not naming, but I'm just saying point blank, the guys that are smart business guys just shockingly are doing well.
Right. Well, and when a kid comes up to you, let's say at a Tinley and says, how could I get a table now? Is there a run through that they have to do now to prove that they could get a Tinley table, or is it just literally sold out for the next 5 years?
In that little office in the back, you know, behind the thing, we have a casting couch back there.
I knew it, right?
The Harvey Weinstein deal.
Yeah, first guy with the open mouth. Fucking gets the table.
So we have a list, you know, we have a huge waiting list, obviously. And to be on the top of that list, you have to not be a ball python guy.
Right.
You have to be a monitor guy, a hognose guy, just something, anything, you know, Asian rats, whatever it may be. You just got to have different stuff, you know, and there's a lot of those dudes starting to pop up. Cool frogs and, you know, salamanders and newts and just all kinds of crazy shit is the industry is evolving right now away from ball pythons, not out of ball pythons. There's still always going to be, I still say it's the best pet snake in the world. I think it's the coolest looking snake in the world because of all the crazy variants you can have. So it has its place, but to get in the show, obviously I need, as a promoter, Bob and I need to provide an atmosphere where you come in there and you see a ton of variety of different cool stuff. And so that's you know, that's our job, is to do that and make sure that happens. I'm not trying to like screw the new ball python guy over, but we have to allow new different stuff to get in so that when you walk around, you're seeing everything. Right.
Well, have you ever thought of doing a ball python specific show?
No, I would want no part of that.
No, not at all, huh?
No. I just, you know what I mean? I want when people come in, like, to leave with all the different stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want everybody to get their fix, you know?
Right.
And obviously that's a work in progress for us because it got ball python heavy because that's what everybody wanted.
Right. Well, was there a point in the last 10 years where it was more like a drastic ratio of ball python breeders versus, let's say, skink breeders and tarantula breeders?
It's never as bad as the rumor, right? You always hear, oh my God, nothing but ball pythons there.
Right.
There's fucking earless monitors there. There's probably one of the top 3 salamander and newt guys that sets up at my Chicago Reptile House booth with us that has mind-blowing shit that has like a line. He's like the fucking soup Nazi. He has a line of dudes, and basically he's got the word out, man. You walk up, you fucking put your money out, get your shit and go. I mean, he's like, no fucking around. And he sells out by like Saturday at like noon. He's done. Everything's gone.
Right.
It's a shit ton of stuff, you know?
Mm.
So, like, there's a lot of other stuff there. It's never as bad as what, you know, the guy that wasn't at the show that said he heard from his cousin, you know?
Right. Well, also there's, you know, being the biggest show or, you know, one of the biggest shows in the country, there's an inherent risk to anybody when they come, because you have people traveling from like New York and New Hampshire to Chicago and
Korea, Russia, fucking all over, man.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I had some friends there that said that they went to a Tinley and they made $200 the whole weekend, right? And I just told them, I was like, I don't think you should have been at Tinley to begin with.
Your table
you know?
sucked. I mean, you had
Yeah,
shit.
like
You had
somebody
shit.
sending you a very clear message. You know, like don't.
That tells you who you are.
Right, exactly.
Now, hold on. And I will say, you could have some amazing shit and be the guy that sits on the fucking chair back there, all frumpy and don't talk to anybody. You ever hear Bob Vu and Josh Jackie? Like,
Yeah.
you ever go by their table, you see what they're doing? There's no fucking chairs. Nobody's sitting down. There's kids with ball pythons in their hands or adults with ball pythons in their hands. There's a way to do the business. You know what I'm saying? There's a way not to do it. So there's two sides to that. And I totally understand there's people that go to Tinley and get their ass handed to them. You know? Yeah.
Well, there's also nothing that the promoter could really do about that, right? Because Tinley is packed regardless, you know, every year. So if people aren't buying your shit, there's a reason people aren't buying your shit, right? It's like,
yeah, you got to look in the mirror and go look around the tables and say, what is different about my table than all these other guys?
Right. Well, and one of the things, you know, I noticed about Bob Voos the last time I was in Arlington was Bob realized that there was a huge pet trade market also. So Bob had everything on his table from $200 bells to $20,000, you know, whatever the new.
That's being a good businessman, right?
Yeah,
you realize that nobody should come up to your table and you're like, oh, my shit's 10 grand and up.
Right.
Otherwise, I mean, what you're producing lower end stuff on accident, right? Or by chance, or
byproduct.
So bring the byproduct and sell it, and that's going to pay for your gas, your meals, your table fees.
Right. It's it's when people complain about it, I just I kind of just take it with a grain of salt, because you know I would say that probably half of the ball python people that go to Tinley don't deserve to be at Tinley, you know, like they just happen to get it, because you know if you're selling only what Justin did 2 years ago, you know you're not gonna. It's not impressive anymore, right? It's not.
I think there's a lot of stuff. There's like, first of all, shows should not be a sole way for you to add up the dollars you make, subtract the costs that you pay, and then say, I made or I lost, the show was good or bad.
Right.
It's how many people did you meet that realize you're a good fucking dude, and if they get home and ever want to buy a snake, they can think back and say, man, I met that dude. He's a solid motherfucker.
Right.
And if he ships me stuff, it's going to come in perfect. It's going to be fat and healthy. It's going to eat. Everything's going to be as stated. I don't have to worry about the guy, because when I met him at Tinley, he was a solid stand-up dude.
Right.
That goes a long way, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference. Like again, I hate to keep using Bob as an example, but you go to Bob and Josh's table, everybody's dressed the same. Everybody is, you know, it looks like a professional gig. It's almost like a little store right within, you know, Tinley. You know, you know, the way that Bob sets everything up, and you know the way that Justin does it too. And have you noticed any elevation?
Was it?
No, I was going to ask, have you noticed any elevation in the look of tables at Tinley?
Oh, man, you've noticed the elevation since the first show we ever did amongst everybody across the board. Back in the day, how many vinyl banners hung on the pole behind a table?
Right.
Probably 80% had them, and then 20% had nothing.
Right.
Now, you don't see any vinyl banners, and if you do, usually the animals and the stuff that's on the table kind of match. You know what I mean?
Right.
They got pastels for sale and hypos.
Well, and do you guys have, do you or Bob, Ashley, who's your partner, do you ever walk past the table and just say, all right, no, this isn't really up to
Yeah,
Tinley?
we've had conversations with people in the past. I'm not going to name anybody, but
Right,
there's definitely been conversations where we said, hey, man, either that animal, and that animal's got to go below your table, or you need to pack up everything. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I just, usually a customer, either an attendee or another vendor comes up and says, hey, man, go look at this table. There's something on it. And they'll say what it is. Check it out. And that's all they'll say, We'll cruise over there, look at it, and say, hey, man, you need to put that away. That thing does not look good. And then I've never had anybody say anything but, oh, man, sorry, no problem. We got it. And they'll take care of it, People have always been cool about it.
Right. Well, there's been Tinley wasn't with the without the occasional flare up, right? But it used to be a lot worse. I mean, I would imagine it's a lot better now with everybody kind of just sucking each other's dick and telling everybody what a great job they're doing. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was not like that, right?
No, man, there was some fucking shit, bro. I remember when Sean got a little hot under the collar, you know what I mean? And I literally I never felt so far from my gun as that day. Like, I was worried, man. I was like, someone's going to have to smoke this motherfucker, or he's going to smoke somebody else.
Right, yeah.
And I was worried, man. And, there was some tense moments a few times at the show where people were just getting into it and stuff, but nothing like that one. That Sean one was nuts.
Yeah, well, I think the part that was great and worst about that was the fact that it was on video.
Oh my God, I know.
Still find it on video.
He was melting down. I'm glad he's come around from all that shit, man. Sean's a good dude, and he had horrible shit happen to him, and I can't imagine and what he goes through on a daily basis. And but there was some funny times. That's how I just put it that way.
Yeah. The only thing I remember about that video is Sean yelling, right? And I just keep hearing you go, Sean, enough. And you would think that's an easy motherfucker to just pull out of a crowd, right? Somebody just gets behind him and wheels him out. And like, you've had enough. But no, man, it went on for a little bit. And looking back at it, it was funny, but I would imagine like if you were there, it was pretty tense.
It was, dude. I was worried he was gonna pull a gun out. Like, he was fucking on fire.
Yeah, no, he's done that at smaller shows before, right? So why wouldn't he, do it at the biggest show? And at the end of the day, it's like, you look back now and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, I'm sure that's the case with a lot of dudes. Like, I remember Jeff Byers was telling me he knocked out a guy at either Tinley or Daytona. Most
of that shit, I don't ever hear about it, but which is good.
Right.
I prefer not to. That way I don't have to do anything about it and just goes on and we move on,
No, it's just funny that the difference between 10 and 15 years ago and now has to be night and day, right?
Yeah, people are way more laid back. There's not the fucking, the competition, I guess, in a way. You know what I mean?
Right.
People, really, you compete with yourself, right? How you set your table up, how you approach your customers, how you carry yourself. All those things are what you're competing with. You're really not competing with anybody else because you can only control what you do.
Right. Well, especially now, like especially for the ball python people, 5-10 years ago, there was one animal available, right? But right now, like there's always another animal available, right?
Yeah.
So there's always another exact animal available somewhere, in the world. And with the internet, it's been
find it.
Now, when Morph Market first came along, did you notice the hit in the shows or no?
No, not at all. I don't think, like I said, I don't think there's anything negative about Morph Market and the market. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it impacts things in a bad way. I hear people with their theories on everything, and I mean, we needed a marketplace, right? You needed. Kinksnake.com was not fucking cutting it.
Fucking Kinksnake was just you put one animal on, and 5 minutes later, it's on page 7.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's just doing it.
Yeah.
But King Snake is still around. I went to their site the other day.
It's crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable. What would you say is the one huge market change from the old school guys to the new school guys now that either helped out NARBC or kind of made you want to go in a different direction with it?
God, I don't even know, man. You know, some things I could say are, you know, same old as we roll through shows and years lately. It's much of the same. I think the thing that I see that's happening differently is the variety is making a big comeback now. The amount of guys getting into other stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
How about
Right.
that? Like, how about this? How about emerald tree boas and green tree pythons were like a kind of a big deal, $750, $1,500, maybe $2,000 back in the day, right?
Right.
And then they sort of died out. It seemed like nobody was doing anything with them. Like they kind of like disappeared. Remember like Noe Perez? Remember Noe?
Yeah,
Noe
yeah.
Perez?
Yep.
So Noe was doing his emeralds and stuff and getting into Amazon basins and all that with Tony Nikolai. Tony had like some badass shit. Now, fuck, man. Those dudes don't even do shows because everything they make and they sell them for like what, 10, 15,
Right.
18
$20,000.
grand?
Yeah, fucking yep.
And they're all fucking sold. They're like, I called a couple guys. I'm like, man, I'd love to have you at the show with some of this shit. It's just amazing. He's like, bro, I would love to come, but I'll be honest with you, it's all sold as soon as I make it.
Right. Yeah, I was at Bill Stiegel's place, and I was just like, man, there's just too much money in this room for me to even be here right now. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette outside, you know, and just it's ridiculous the amount of money. I think when I was buying chondros, and we had 3 or 4 of them, $800, $900 tops.
Yeah.
You know, wild caught, fucking tick infested shit, but still, it's like to see the jump in things nowadays. It's like, ugh,
It's nuts. So hey, let me ask you this. I heard this the other day. How does one make these Christmas emeralds that everybody's, you know what I'm talking about? What do they call them? Christmas with the wide white and all that, right?
I have no idea. I'm
told they're mixing Amazon basins with northerns. I'm told that's how that happens. I'm just asking. I'm not saying that's what they're doing,
Right.
but if somebody knows, that's what I hear. Which, as a guy who was thinking about getting some of those, thought it was kind of weird that nobody told me that.
Well, I almost kind of like that because that kind of harkens back to the old days where somebody would figure out something and keep it secret for a while, right? Until they were successful at it. Whereas now, you know, everybody got a YouTube channel that they're telling people exactly the way that they do things. And it kind of takes the challenge out of, you know, raising the thing or figuring things out.
Yeah, I guess. But somebody told me, they go, you know how they're making those, Brian? And I was like, no, he's fucking crossing northerns with fucking Amazon basins. And I was like, kind of blew my mind. I was like, fuck, here I am thinking they got these amazing Amazon basins they're working with. And I'm not saying it's even wrong. I'm not saying that. I was just surprised that it wasn't more of a known thing. That's all. Right.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But I love all that shit, man. That if I was gonna, I don't keep anything. I have no animals at my house. I travel quite a bit, and I come home from the store. I don't want to fucking deal with
right.
Yeah. But that's one thing I was definitely. It's always like I want to deal with it, but I don't.
Right. Well, that's the same thing here. I have one skink here. That's it. You know, I went from 600 ball pythons to one skink, and I got to tell you, I love it. I fucking love it, man.
Yeah.
You know, fucking it's just you know, you definitely get burnout with this type of thing. I tell everybody all the time, I'm like, there's a world of difference between pulling open a tub and taking a picture of an animal because you want to, and pulling out a tub and taking a picture of an animal because you have to.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, like. The guys are like, hey, man, we got a clutch pippin in the incubator. I'm like, all right, just move it and set it up over there. And I don't even go look that day, maybe. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just different. And I hate saying that. And I do love when I'm at the shop and kids come in and they're just fucking literally just jumping off the floor because they're so excited to be in there and looking at stuff. And that gives me at least some pleasure seeing them all excited about reptiles. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, that's the cool thing. And that's actually something that we were talking about last week or so with Barchek is like, you walk up to an 8-year-old kid in Petco looking at a bearded dragon, he's not going to know who fucking Justin is,
Right.
But he's going to know who fucking Barchek is.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that the hobby in general needs somebody. Now, do you think that anybody has a viable chance of stepping up and taking Barchek's place?
There's definitely, Brian, I was partners with Brian and Bob with Animal Con. I'm partners with Lori, obviously.
Right.
It was Lori and Brian, myself and Bob. And there is some good dudes, definitely. Brian was different with it, though. Brian definitely had there was an excitement that he brought. It was done in a different way. It wasn't a science show. It was a emotion show. Right. And so there is that. I think a lot of the newer guys are trying to get more, technical. Is that maybe the word I want to say? Technical with it?
Yeah.
Less Steve Irwin, more
Bill Nye, the science guy. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Even though Corwin was a total douche bomb.
Dude, he was going to come on the show. And we did a pre-interview, and he was such a dick that I was just like, you know what? It's probably better off that we don't do this.
Yeah. I think he does a cooking show now, if I heard correctly.
Yeah. No, he does. Yeah.
He's just a face. From what I heard, he's just like a face, and they just build a show around him.
Right. Well, and like speaking of that, I feel horrible because fucking the last time Barchek called me and wanted to come on, I was like, you could come on, but I want to talk about the Sean Bradley shit. I want to talk about, all the shit that you've been through. And he was like, yeah, I don't think that'll be good for anybody, And then I was like, all right, so maybe we'll just pass on this and you could come again, in 6 months or whatever. And then all that shit happened and fucking it was worse. But I was talking to him up until about a week before, he passed. And I always regretted that, I was like, you should have just had him on the show and fucking, played it to what he wanted to.
Because I would agree to that. Yeah. It's, I'm at an age now, a lot of us are, Brian passed away. Eugene Bassett's wife passed away.
Yeah.
Tom Harbin passed away.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, Peter Call's wife passed away. There's a lot of people. And I know I'm forgetting people, and I feel horrible.
Well, like Rico.
Rico Waller
not recently.
I brought him up on a podcast not too long ago. Fucking 4 of us, 3 motherfuckers looking at me like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Right? Yeah, dude.
It was crazy. Like I couldn't believe it, but I realized these guys are young. It's not their fault, but I'm at a different age, man. You realize like all the drama and the stupid shit and even money and all that. It really don't matter, man. It's about relationships and so much more.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I think that all the time. Like I mentioned Casey Lazick to some of these new people, and they're like, "Who?"
They don't know
who that is. I would say that if you go to 20 random people at even a Tinley and you ask them who Ralph Davis is, they're not going to know.
You ever see Mark Bell walk around at Tinley? Nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah,
they're selling Burmese pythons, and they're like, "Who's that fucking guy? A homeless-looking motherfucker."
That's the way it goes. But I think it's a shame. We just did on the Patreon. We just did a storytellers thing where we got all the old people that have been doing this forever to tell stories, And we had on like Crutchfield and all the other old guys. And Ralph told me he would do it, but he didn't fucking do it. And I was pissed off because Ralph did my very first Snakes in the Fatman show.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted him to come on this, and that motherfucker ghosted me. And I was like, dude, fucking, I sent you so much money in Sports Illustrated fucking books and FedExes, over the last fucking 20 years, fucking, throw this thing out of me. But I was telling somebody the story, and they were shocked that that's how we used to pay for things. you know, like fucking, I mean, big amounts of money would go through like FedEx just so they could not claim it, right? Like fucking, I remember, you know, like us having to get 20 grand out of the bank to put in a FedEx envelope and hope that it got there.
Right.
And then even if it got there, what was to stop the guy from like, I never got it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Ian, obviously, right? Ian.
Outback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always tell the story because it just cracks me up. Ian's got some fucking guy at his table just begging to come over and buy ball pythons from him at his house. This is when shit was expensive. You know what I mean? Like probably in the $5,000 pastel days.
Right.
This guy's fucking begging Ian like at his tables, and Ian's, you know, slinging shit at his tables. He's making money. And so this guy's fucking begging him. And he knows this guy's got dough. Ian finally says, listen, motherfucker. He goes, I'll tell you what. You want to come to my house? He goes, fucking wire me like 20 G's. And when I see the fucking money's in the bank, I'll call you and you can come over to the house and buy some shit. And fucking Ian looks at me and he's like, you know, I was such a dick. He goes, I didn't think the guy was going to fucking do it. He goes, a little bit later, it's 20 grand's in the bank. And he goes, the next week I had him come over and buy shit.
Right.
And it's just funny as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like Ian, I love Ian. Like I can't even explain how I love that guy. He is, nobody can make you laugh like Ian.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
If you know him, he's hilarious.
Yeah. I remember at like a White Plains show, he used to come up to our table and just give us a fucking hard time and leave, you know, and like fucking, and we were like, what the fuck? That guy just came over, told us to go fuck ourselves for 10 minutes and then left.
Totally. That guy fucking love you. And I just, every once in a while, I just call him, I leave him a message or something. And he'll call me at some fucking months later on it, you know, and we'll giggle a little bit and that's it.
Well, and like speaking of old school shit, I saw you were recently like at a casino at like a fucking like a Dokken concert, was it?
Me?
Or a Rat concert? Yeah.
Oh,
like,
Rat. Yeah, bro. Rat. Fuck. I love Rat, dude. I love Rat. Stephen Pierce, he's still selling out. The last concert I was at, I'll be honest, was probably about 6 months ago, whatever it was. He was a little off. Before that, he was perfect every year that I've seen him.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember running into, I used to live in Hollywood. I was a musician for a while. And we ran into him and Don Dokken same night. And I remember I would always say to them, man, if I had one bullet right now, like I could take care of you both, you know, and they would just fucking laugh. And but I'm from that hair metal fucking thing. So when I saw, I was like, Potter's at Rat. I'm like, I gotta get in touch with Potter and see what the fuck is up.
So Kerry King was in town. We were hanging out in the city down here at like a restaurant, and it was me and Kerry, and then his road manager, and then his actual real manager was there. And so we're sitting there, and you know how Kerry is. You know, he could be a rock star sometimes, let's say. So I was like, man, I fucking love Rat. And I go, I'm sure you fucking don't listen to him. You know, you're too cool for fucking Rat. He was like, I have a Rat album at my house. And I was like, holy shit. And his manager looks over at me and goes, I was their first road manager back in the day. He goes, most dysfunctional motherfuckers on the planet, man. He goes, there's like 4 versions of them touring at any one time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're very similar to like LA Guns and and what's the name just died? I just saw right on Facebook right before we started. Jack Russell from Great White just died.
Oh wow,
and,
okay.
Yeah,
one of my good buddies here in town, his brother-in-law was the guitar player for LA Guns.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. There was we had Ray Tabano on the show, who was the first guitar player in Aerosmith, and then for years later he was their tour manager.
Oh,
and
cool.
And now the guy's like a chef, and he still plays like local clubs and everything. And he would tell us stories about them where it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, like we thought we were partying when we were fucking playing. Like we were not. Okay.
Stephen Pierce, you could look at him now and know that motherfucker partied a lot.
You see it in the face, man. You see it in the face. Oh my God,
dude.
The face look like a catcher's glove, you know?
Yeah.
So
crazy.
It's
He's
fucking
still got all the fucked up tattoos. He didn't fix nothing.
Yeah, he was always like that actually. Like I was in Hollywood in like 2006 to 2009, right? Or 2002 to 2009.
Yeah.
And I had missed the heyday, right, of like the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I either subbed or played with every almost 80s that made it metal band or rock band.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
but that was at the time where they're like, yeah, here's $80, Chris, for the night, and you're like, motherfucker, like you guys fucking go platinum at one point,
Yep.
But yeah, it was fucking.
I was out
rough.
there 89 to 93. I was in the Marine Corps. That's where I lived, Pendleton.
Pendleton, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to live in San Diego and play L.A. And I remember that drive, and Pendleton was just like, if you were going to fall asleep on that drive, Pendleton is the area where you were going to fall asleep.
I think it's 1,000 square miles, if I'm not mistaken. That's 1,000 square miles, Pendleton.
Right. And I remember once we got off on the wrong exit, and we're right in Pendleton, and we pulled up to two guys, and they just looked at us and were like. And we were like, okay, no problem. Right? We just fucking turned the fuck around, got back on the highway. We didn't even ask them how to get where we were going. We're just like, fuck it. But Pendleton, yeah, that was rough. I lived in Orange County for a while too, so that was past Pendleton, so I didn't get to do the drive anymore. But
Pendleton, like Oceanside, was rough back in those days.
Yeah.
That was a rough town. You know what I mean? There was fucking hookers on every corner, and it was a crazy place. And then, I went back not too long ago. Well, yeah, it's been 10, 15 years probably, but whatever. But man, it's fucking nice. Now it's the high rent district now.
Yep. Triple L started in Oceanside, right?
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't start there. The first one was out in, I want to say Escondido, because that's where Reptile Haven was at. I want to say they're out that way.
Yeah. And then they opened the shop in Oceanside, right?
Yeah.
And that was a while ago, right? 2002, 2001, So
I think before that even.
Yeah, it might have been. It's like fucking.
I opened up my shop in 93, and I want to say that Triple L was opening up maybe a few years after that, 95, 6, 7-ish, maybe right in there.
Well, what does Potter do when he's not doing the Reptile House or the NARBC?
I used to hunt, man. Hunting used to be my thing for a while. Ian actually taught me to hunt on my cell phone. I'd be in a tree calling him up or walking to my tree stand. All right, Ian, the wind is out of the northwest. I got this stand and this stand and this stand. Where should I sit? What about this? How do I call? Should I call? Should I start calling yet? Is it too early in the season to be grunting at bucks, this and that? And Ian would be laying in bed with his wife. She'd be fucking pissed off, obviously, because he's talking to me. But he loved it. It was great. Now I'm more fishing Key West. I like to go to Key West a lot. My girlfriend lives, she's half the time here, and well, not even half, less than that. She's got a place in Mexico, a condo on the beach, so I'm down there a lot lately. That's kind of my thing.
Well, yeah, you've been traveling a lot this year, right?
Yeah, Mexico, seeing her down there and hanging out and just extending my life by chilling out.
Yeah, I hear that. And then you're going away now too next week, right? Or 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, a couple of weeks. I'll go to Dallas first weekend of September. We got our Dallas show. And then I'll leave from there. I'm going to go down to flying to Cancun. Then me and my girl jump on a plane. We're going to Italy and Greece.
Nice. Okay.
Come back, hit Animal Con in Orlando first weekend of October. And then second weekend of October will be Tinley. So
Animal Con is a different date this time, right? Because I remember.
Yeah. We get bumped around a little. You know, when you do shows at nice facilities, you're bumped around based on how many rooms you book, hotel rooms. That's kind of what it all goes to. So, or how much square foot you take, of the facility. And obviously, when you're growing, you don't have much pull, so you get bumped around a little bit. So yeah,
it's so this is the third Animal Con, right?
It is. It will be the third. Yep.
Okay.
And first without Brian, and be different.
Well, I looked at the roster this year, and it's fucking heavy, right? I mean, it's probably double what last year's was.
It really, every year, the first year we had it, I always joked with Brian. I was like, Brian, you realize that the only person at Animal Con that knew what was going to be at Animal Con was you.
Right.
We didn't know what the fuck it was. Like, we we didn't understand what he was actually trying to do, because it just, even other influencers, talking to Kevin McCurley and just different people in the industry that were going, they were like, what are we going to be doing? Like, what's the flow going to be? What's this? What's that? And I was like, man, I don't really know, man. Brian's not really, he just wasn't communicating it. It was nothing wrong. We didn't know. So everybody gets there, they have it. They're like, fuck, this was super fun. This was super cool. I see what the vision of this whole thing is, and everybody wanted to help build it. So we came back second year. It was way better. And now, obviously, we're going to go into year 3, unfortunately, without Brian, but a lot to live up to for him, and a lot of things we want to do to make Brian proud,
Right. Well, I'll be honest with you. I was against Animal Con when it first started, because I was like, you're going to teach young people how to do YouTube for a job? Like, I mean, that's because my 15-year-old niece wanted to be an influencer. And as a person who works for a living, that shit just made me furious, And I was like, it's probably just a room full of that, right? But then I talked to some people that actually went, and they were just like, dude, you missed out on like a ton of shit that we had a great time. And that was at the end of the first year.
Yeah,
right?
And the second year blew the first year away, man. It really did.
Yeah. So
it's look, you're going to take a bunch of egomaniacs, right? There's going to be a bunch of that. I mean, that's part of that. But there's a lot of love in the room. There's a lot of collaboration stuff that people get together, and it's a cool ass. It's the same vibe as when a bunch of herp nerds go to a reptile show, right?
Right.
Like, you just start to collaborate, and you just start to do things together and plan things out for the future, and all kinds of stuff just pops up from it,
Mm. And yeah, well, that's what I heard. And obviously, I'm not going this year because of the current situation. But I remember Bionic Benny went, and he told me, he was like, dude, I had the best fucking time. And I was just
dude,
like,
I love that guy. That's where I met him. I never knew him before that. Never knew, I don't, truth be told, I'm not watching influencers.
Right.
It's just not part of my life. I don't do it. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have anything against it. In fact, I wish I could do it. But point being, that guy's great, man. That's a great human with a great story. I encourage everybody, if you don't know who Bionic Benny is, look him up, follow him, and watch that dude, man. That dude is as real as it gets.
Yeah. Bionic Benny, when I first got the leg chopped off, he was one of the first people to contact me. And I didn't know him for shit. Right. And he contacted me, and I've spent hours on the phone with that guy, hours DMing that guy. He's just he's a dude where, like, when you're feeling depressed and you're like, man, I got no leg, what am I gonna fucking do? But like, that's the dude that you look at and be like, fucking Benny does everything, and he's a cool guy. I also think that if you're not following Benny, fucking follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, he's a very inspirational cat, man, and he comes from a place of truth. Everything that he says he just tells it, and he's a good dude, man. I really like that guy.
Yeah, well, that's the benefit, right? Like, I always say 80% of the ball python people are assholes, right? But 20% of them are fucking like these awesome, incredible people, right?
Yeah,
and
Tom Harbin.
Tom Harbin. Like, I never got to meet Tom. Because I was like, there's no way in hell Tom's coming on my show. Like, no fucking way, right? And I had hung out with his kid, Josh and Elisa, and we had hung out, and they were like, we'll be on the show. And I'm like, yeah, good, because you're the only Harbins that I'll ever be able to get on my fucking show, right? And then he passed away, and I was like, fuck, I should have fucking approached the guy.
He would have done it in 2 seconds. There's no question in my mind. If you got him on the phone, he'd be like, yeah, I'll do it for sure. I don't think he would say no, because I don't think Tom would ever want to disappoint anyone.
Yeah, and that's the thing that sucks, is that as you get older and fucking, like, I'm 51 now, and like all the shit that mattered to me even 5 years ago doesn't mean shit, No. I'm just like, what the fuck ever, just fucking put on blinders and fucking move on, like, it doesn't matter. And when you go through like what I went through, you almost want to help other people, you
Oh,
know,
dude,
who've been through
I'll
it.
bet.
You know, like you got this feeling, you know, like, and you're like, hey, I'm all right. Like I noticed in rehab when I was seeing these fuckheads in there with like missing 2 arms and a leg, you know, and they're still figuring out how to get on. And I'm just like, dude, it's just a fucking leg, man. Get up and fucking do something. And you know, now we're doing a lot of fun stuff, and it's you know, it's cool. And I've never been in that position before where I'm like, yeah, I want to help people out. Like you know, I'm the New York guy, you know, just like you're probably the Chicago guy. You know, helping people was not high on my list, but it is now, you know.
Yeah, I bet.
But you know, as a reptile community as a whole, I think that ratio still fits. Like 80% of them are like white trash degenerates, but the 20% that aren't makes you just keep coming back because you want to be around those 20%.
You know, that's really, it's 80% of the planet is the reality of it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, everybody's like, oh man, you know, listen, it's the whole planet, dude. No one gives a fuck about anybody anymore, and nobody has any fucking class or patience or just no one cares about fellow man. You know, I always say, like, the best thing ever was, I wish everybody acted like they did on September 12th.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember after 9/11? Fuck, man. It was like people were amazing. Everybody was an American. Everybody loved everybody. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember. I wasn't in New York for that. I was actually in Mission Viejo, California.
Yep.
And turned on the news and saw my cousin walking like on the news, like on Fox, right? And back then they didn't even call it Fox; they called it the Fair and Balanced News, right? And I saw my cousin walking. I was like, "What the fuck happened?" But probably for like the next month, it was everybody was an American. But fucking after that, I mean,
it only lasted about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it devolved pretty quickly, you know.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, you know, that's the way it is now.
Yep.
And you know, I just figure like even this show is not a reptile specific show, right? Like it's really just like a comedy show that reptile people like coming on because they're my friends, you know, and I just like having them come on. And I'm happy that, you know, people have gravitated. Also, I've been doing it for 8 fucking years, right? So if I was only getting 200 views, you know, people would have been telling me the same thing as what I was telling the people that made $200 at Tinley, you know. Yep. So fucking, there's no way I'm going to do that. But is there an expansion plan for NARBC over the next 5 years?
Right now, man, everything's just going to be just try to make what we're doing, each show that we do now, better. That's all. There's no expansion plans. There's no need for expansion. You know what I'm saying? It's not a needed thing. It's just
right.
not.
Right. So, what are some of the things that Tinley, let's say, could aspire to? Like what kind of changes do you want to make there?
I think just streamlining people getting in and out, like the processes of signing up and the mix of the table mix of, you know, getting some new cool shit in the show, some new vendors as certain people drop. There's always a little bit of attrition. People just don't come back, you know?
Right.
And then making sure that those spots get filled up with some really, really nice shit. And we've got some really nice people on deck with some cool shit. And the variety will quickly start to really, really expand. And that's kind of exciting. Other than that, it's just really making sure that we're getting more people through the door at every show. Schaumburg's a new show. You know, we're consistently up in the numbers there. St. Louis sold out already. That's not till November. The show's sold out already.
Which one is with the nice hotel? Schaumburg.
Which is in July up here, about 45 minutes north of Tinley. That's got the beautiful hotel. And St. Louis is nice. It's all the rooms are suites. They give you free beers that night. They give you free breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, so Schaumburg is I really want to check that out. Just because people are raving about the hotel, right? Like, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I gotta check that out next year.
First thing I said when we got in there was like, I can't believe they're letting us in here. Like, look at this fucking place.
Right. And now you're gonna keep doing the U.S. ARC auctions, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
That's kind of like for the whole weekend, the U.S. ARC auction is kind of the main party, right? Like for Tinley and for Arlington or Dallas now and all that. Would that be about right? Because I don't think people know how fun the auctions are.
Yeah, the auctions are a blast, man. I mean, let me fix my shit here. Sorry. They're a blast, and it's all for a good cause. You know, Todd from Timberline gets fucking crazy, and you know, Tinley auction we raise somewhere usually between. I don't think we ever do less than 65 grand, and I think we've done as high as like 150 grand.
Right.
So it's crazy, you know, and it's all for US ARC, you know, and it's fun. Then beyond fun, there's been a lot of really serious shit that's gone on there where people have been in need, whether it's a death or a fire or
I'm losing a leg, you know.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it. I was actually asking JT when he told me that they're going to do an auction for me. I'm like, please don't do an auction, because I was terrified that I was going to be the lowest earning auction in the history of fucking Tinley, right?
You lose the leg and you get $50.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I was terrified
Here's
of.
a baseball bat. Screw that bitch in.
They're like, yeah, here's 30 Jello shots, Chris. We're donating this, and it turned out, I mean, they did amazing for me, and fucking it was you know, when you see shit like that makes you realize, like, fuck, this is the 20% that I keep coming back for, you know?
It is, man. My mom and dad are there, you know, at every Tinley. My mom especially. My dad's getting older now, but my mom's at every auction, you know, and every auction, it seems like I'm in tears. My mom's in tears, you know, at some point through the night. And those things that we do for people, I mean everybody, we as in like the everyone in the room, the whole room, you know, it's all done by everybody.
Right.
And just incredible, man. Just those fucking nights are, man, just incredible.
Yeah, I would think, I mean, everybody's live streaming the auctions when they go on, you know, so you never have to worry about not seeing an auction, because out of the, you know, 500 people in the room or whatever, 100 people are probably fucking live streaming. So it's just a cool thing to watch every year.
It is.
So, yeah. See, look at Mike's monitors. He bid $1 for me. I don't think I don't appreciate it, Mike. All right. So we're really trying to, like I said, I'm trying to get to October Tinley. If not, I'll be in March Tinley, definitely. Cool, but March Tinley is fucking cold, right? It's like fucking.
It's usually not too bad by then. It's actually all the shows. We haven't had like a bad weather show, knock on wood, in a long ass time. A long time.
Right. Yeah, it's the first one that we vended was March, and it snowed a little bit, but nowhere near. You know, because you hear Chicago, and like Tinley's not really in Chicago, right? It's really
we're about 40 minutes south of the city.
Yeah, so so you know, you're not worried now. How did the new Dallas place pan out? Because I know that that's kind of right in the city now, right?
It is. So we're on the outskirts of the city, just before you hit the downtown. And the fucking thing was, we thought we were going to be able to get cleared for reticks and berms and all that kind of stuff, and we didn't make it in time. The show was great, though. It was a really good show, really solid numbers through the door. You know, I always want to make it better. There's no question. But we're working. Animal Control came to the show. She was completely in love with the show and everything that we do. Completely blown away. Was out of her mind, positive, and is now working with the city to change that city rule.
Oh, nice. So we're
going to get all that stuff reversed, it looks like.
Right.
It will not be in time for this coming show, because obviously you got to go through different councils and meetings, and it takes a little time. But it's in the process of her specifically saying, I want to do away with this because it makes no sense. And this is an incredible show. She was blown away.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Mike is actually one of the main reasons I want to go to Tinley, because fucking, you know, I want to hang with Mike for a little while, man. So, all right. So if people want to get in touch with you, I'm pretty sure they know how, but how could they get in touch with you?
If you want to get in touch with me and you got some complaint or tell me I'm an asshole or you like something or whatever, my cell number is 708-932-8044. You can go to the
Holy
website,
fuck, you giving
NARBC.com.
out your cell number?
Yeah, fuck, it goes on the radio, bro.
Fuck.
It goes on the radio, on the ads, on the billboard, all that shit.
All right, that's cool.
24/7 work, brother.
Jesus Christ, I didn't expect that. I was like,
I knew that would throw you.
I was like,
But
whoa,
yeah, go to the website, NARBC.com. You can read all my shit's on there too. My number's there, my email's there. Call me, whatever. You got something you want to talk about, some complaint or something good, whatever. Call me.
Very fucking cool. Well, Brian, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you even hanging out.
I appreciate it.
You know, do me a favor and just hang backstage for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to close out everything.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. But Brian Potter, everybody, NARBC, Chicago Reptile House. We're definitely going to have you back on again and talk about that a little more.
Yeah, let's do it right around Tinley, man. We could do something maybe from the show or something.
You let me know. You have an open invite to come on here whenever you want.
Thanks,
so
bro.
You just say the word. So, all right, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, bye-bye. Yo, what a fun, cool dude. You know, I've kind of known Brian for years, but I never really sat down and talked to him. And tonight was a good night, man. So I appreciate all of you guys sticking around. Listen, buy a fucking sea serpent's rack, okay? You have to get a sea serpent's rack. You know, they're PVC racks that they have a small footprint. A lot of people don't want a fucking 2 refrigerator footprint in their fucking house because they have a freedom breeder or an ARS. Chris has been doing this forever. We had about 20 sea serpents racks at the shop when we had it, and I still got 2 sea serpent racks here in the house. So definitely use him for if you want PVC racks. If you need incubators, the hot box incubators are now the sea serpents incubators. But he took over that. I hear he's killing it with that too. So go check that out. So seaserpents.com, everybody. Listen, guys, I'm having a great time. We're having next episode, we're having Matt from Pangea on the show. So we're gonna figure out what the fuck goes on at Pangea. Fucking that makes them the biggest fucking supply company. And I think they sell fucking a ton of animals too. Like in the business, Matt has grown everything. I'm always interested in how people scale things, and I definitely am looking forward to that. And we're gonna have cue ball morphs on 15 minutes, so we're gonna see you then. We're actually taking this weekend off as far as show goes, so there's no My One Black Friend, there's no Hot Girls episode. That will all return next week. And remember, CRBE tickets. We're giving away 2 free ones. If you want it, just DM me with the word contest. We'll put everybody into a pool. We'll do a raffle and we'll do a drawing. Probably only for Canadians, right? I mean, well, fuck it. You know, Charlie from Reagan Renee is coming up, so maybe some of the Americans will come up for that too. So anyway, DM me the word contest on Instagram, and we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get you guys 2 free tickets. So, all right, I'm out for now. Thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Take it easy, guys.